I'm Marie-Christine Bourdua, or everybody call me MC because it's shorter. I'm a Montrealer, and I live in Toronto since it's been about a year and a little bit more than a year. I've been invited today to tell you what the heck I'm doing in life. The short version is that I'm a producer in the video game and that I'm involved in the community. But I guess you want to know the long version. I'm a producer for Polytron, who made Fez. I'm also a producer for Cellar games here in Toronto that made Rogue Legacy. I'm a co-founder of the game social Torontaru, and I'm also an organizer for the festival Gamercamp. I was wondering what to talk about today, and I decided to tell you how I ended up having two producer positions, co-funding a game festival, and participating in a game social and participating in a festival. And all of that within a year. And I'll talk a little bit about my vision of my job. So there's a lot of GIF in my talk, sorry. Believe it or not, but I left university with a degree in literature, which I did more because I didn't get in the communication program at first, and then I kind of got used to read 15 books a semester. And I began working in a publishing house in Montreal as a press relation manager, where I learned about everything that I know about press and communication. And then I got very bored of literature and the community in general. Also, even at that time, I knew that interactive was more my thing. So I got a small contract in TV post-production just to get rid of the literature thing. And then I met Renaud Bédard, my boyfriend, who also happened to be a Fez programmer. In our first date, he invited me to play an early build of Fez. That's true. I'm pretty sure my head exploded that night. More that I was spending time with Renaud, more I opened my mind to video games. I mean, I knew a little bit about the industry already because my brother-in-law is an artist at Ubisoft since about forever. And I was kind of a gamer, but I had no idea about independent. I think I simply fell in love. So, yeah, sorry. It's a little bit disturbing. So I had a goal, and it was to be part of the industry. Montreal have a lot of big companies, so I thought it will be easy for me to find myself a job. Even if I wasn't indie, the idea was very appealing for me. At that time, it didn't work, but I got a job at Sidley, an advertising company, where I was a web producer for about 2 years. It was super fun because interactive, you know, but the only thing that I didn't like about that was that it was marketing, it was advertising. The only thing that I liked about it was the production part and like interact with the creative team and everything. So, but the strategy part and the marketing part, I was terrible. I was very bad about it. So, and this is without mentioning that I was working like 60 hours a week. Meanwhile, the Montreal Game Society was getting big in Montreal. I was doing translation for the folks who organized the meetup, and I was very in love in the community. I went to GDC with Renaud, where Fez won the grand prize at the IGF Awards. I felt part of the community without really being in it, without making games. Then Fez launched in April 2012. I helped a little bit for the communication. It was crazy time. Like, Fez was way bigger than we thought. And then what? Renaud and I were talking about what the after Fez will be like. One day he came home and said, why not moving in Toronto so I can work for Capi? I know what was Capi. I know that those guys are amazing, and I knew that it will be the perfect match for Renault. And moving in another city can be a wonderful experience. I could get rid of my stupid accent, which is still here, and I can improve my English. I did improve my English. And I could get out of the terrible marketing world. Pretty appealing, so we did it. But what about me? I mean, I took 2 months of trying to get used to Toronto, doing nothing but walking around the city and teaching myself crochet and watching anime. That's the only thing I remember about that time. So Polytron were talking about porting Fez to PC, and I was looking at Renault, trying to figure out how the hell it will do this while working for full-time at Capi. So maybe I can help. I mean, I'm a project manager, that's what I do. Why not? And being around the development of Fez for the last 4 years, I know pretty much everything about it. Besides, I realized very quickly that finding myself a job in video games here in Toronto, like 9 to 5, will take a lot of time. So without really thinking that it could be a real thing, I joined Polytron's team. Nothing was in place. It was super messy. Like Phil Fish, owner of the company, is like a creative genius, but let's be honest, it doesn't have organization skill at all. It was super messy, but it was a lot of work. But it's perfect for me because, you know, I'm useful. That's good. So after GDC 2012, it hit me. Like, I was really Polytron's producer. It was my job. I don't know why I didn't realize that earlier. For me, I was just helping a project that I really believe in. I know it's weird, and I didn't plan that I will love working at home that much. Like, it's the best. For real. And what's magical about being Polytron's producer as my first job in video games is that I had all the liberty that I wanted. Phil trusts me like almost blindly, and he's pretty laid back, so I have all the space that I want to like experience things and like all the liberty that I want. And also working with my boyfriend is quite an advantage because I can ask him like every question that can be stupid or as a beginner, you know. And he's super patient, so that's good. Small note about that though is that the only thing that I hate working with my boyfriend is that we are talking about that like all the time. It can be very tiring. Anyway, so I got very comfortable in my role at Polytron. Sometimes I even think about it as if it was my own company. Meanwhile, I was meeting so much awesome people in Toronto, but I felt like something was missing. I'm sorry, that's Renault's fault. That's not me. So, yeah, I felt that something was missing. Our friend, Chris Petrovsky from Capi, probably thought the same thing because we decided to found Torontaru together. So it's inspired by Otaru, a game gathering in Tokyo. The answer from the community was like instant and so positive. It really makes me realize how much I love the industry and how much I need to be part of it in an active way. Torontaru is maybe super simple, like seriously, it's just people going in a bar and drinking beer once a month. Like it's very, very simple. There's nothing like I'm just doing the Facebook event, basically. But I'm super proud of being part of the co-founder because I'm certain that it makes a difference. By the way, the next one is January 29th at Get Well. So somewhere around that time, I casually told my friend Jamie Wu, director of Gamercamp, that if he needed help for the festival, I will be happy to help him. So to be honest, I really thought it will be like just put my name on the volunteer list and that's it. But no, few weeks after, He offered me a position in the core team. And it's how I ended up to be in the most inspiring and organized team I ever had the chance to work with. Being part of Gamercamp, it's such a great opportunity. It added event planning to my skill set, which is very, very useful. And all of this without mentioning how freaking fun is this event. And I think it was at Torontaru September, Nathan Villa from Capi told me that he wanted to give my name to some guys, the awesome guys, that wanted to, were looking for a producer. Wait, what? Okay, I guess I can do the 2 jobs at the same time. And it'll be super interesting to work with a new team, not just me doing stuff in my bedroom. And also working on a new game will be very motivated and stuff. So I met these wonderful guys, Teddy and Kenny Lee from Cellar Games. And a few discussions later, I signed a contract with them, and it was November 6th, which is almost the first year anniversary, my first year anniversary in Toronto. Pretty crazy. So how it happens? I'm happy that you like my GIF. So how it happens? I often meet people that tell me how much they want to be part of the industry, but knowing the right people is the key. Like contacts, networking. This is how it works, and in every industry, and this one is no different. On another note, being producer for indie games can be very hard for a lot of reasons, but the main one I think is that you have to justify your importance as of a producer position. And these are usually very small team with very defined job, designer, programmer, animator, very defined. So what the hell does a producer do? Even though I really think that it requires specific skill set, people often think that they can improvise themselves as manager. Personally, I can't code. I never be able to program something, so you never see me improvise myself as a programmer. But producer is so abstract and touch so much things at the same time that small team with small budget prefers to do it themselves. And I totally understand that. But I think that organization is the key for an LT project. Also, why spending time sending emails and trying to schedule when you can code or design? I mean, let me do it. A wonderful thing about being producer for indie compared to work in big companies like QB, name it, is that you can do so much different thing at the same time. In a day, I can do communication or community management, administration stuff, localization, managing invoice, a lot of things. I wear so many hats, and that's what makes it unique and inspiring. So I think that a video game is a wonderful piece of art, a creation that involves a privileged relationship between the player and the creator. I'll never be able to make a video game by my own, but being part of it with my own skill makes me very proud of doing what I do. I can only hope that that the love I have for my job is contagious and that you're getting super excited about video game production. Thank you.